Okay, here we are in the workshop, and last night we did the build on the Tyro99 quad live on the live stream, and after about 4 hours had the thing pretty well done. So this morning I've been spending a little time fine-tuning things and fixing some of the things that I really wasn't happy about. So here's the quad, and it's, for all intents and purposes, it's finished. It's ready to go. Just give you a little, show you a little of this, and checked over all the solder joints, and they all look good, and tie wrapped everything. I put the receiver antennas right down here on each leg. I shrink wrapped them first so that they're all covered, and I put them, and it gives you a nice 45-degree spread, or 90-degree spread, which is pretty good, ought to work pretty good. And one of the problems that I had was mounting this particular antenna, because they have a little mounting plate here, and when I screwed the nut down to hold the connector into the mounting plate and then screwed the antenna down, it butted right up against the screw here, and it wobbled and it wouldn't fit. So I decided that this little distance here on this mounting plate was just a little too fat, so I took it off, and I don't know if you can see underneath here, but I ground it down about 1/16 of an inch and put it back on, and then everything worked out fine, but the antenna kind of popped out of the connector here. So I got that all back in, and it was a compression fit, but just to be sure, I went ahead and soldered the shielding of the antenna to the connector, and that worked just fine. And this thing is solid now. You could whip the drone around by it. Another thing I wasn't real happy about was down on the bottom here. There's a bunch of screws, and you're supposed to mount the battery on here. So I cut a piece of little foam pad and stuck it with some double-sided sticky tape down here so that the battery would rest on the foam, and then there's a piece of sticky rubber on the inside of this, and this goes here and clamps down, and these things become the feet where the drone sets on. So I did tune that up a little bit, and I tie wrapped the power lead to here, to this leg, so that if anything should happen, it's not going to pull right out of the controller board or the ESC board. So now I think it's ready to actually go and take out and give it a little test flight. We'll hover it and maybe fly it around a little bit, line of sight. I already tested the video transmitter, and the picture that it sent to the goggles was very nice. So I got the battery on charge right now, and in about 45 minutes that ought to be all charged up, and we'll take it outside and we'll see if this thing flies at all. And if it does, then it was less than 24 hours from the time that I started building it to actually flying the drone. So all in all, I'm very pleased with the package. Of course, that depends how well it works, but on the bench and in beta flight, everything works like it's supposed to. I've got all the switches set up. I've got the turtle mode set. I've got the beeper switch set. I've got the different flight modes, angle, horizon, and acro set. Air mode is set to come on in acro, and there it is. $99 drone. Of course, $99 plus the receiver, which I think was about, I don't remember correctly, I think it was about $12.95 or $30. Anyway, very inexpensive. The FR Sky XM Plus receiver. So that's it. Next step will be to fly it. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm going to test fly this thing. It's never been flown before, and I'm going to probably just hover it. I got the goggles on my head, but I doubt that I'll look into them. I think I'm just going to record what the camera sees, so I want to make sure that it's recording. So I got the transmitter set to the right drone. This is the little Tyro99. I think I got the props on right. I haven't spun it up with the props yet, but we're going to give it a shot and see what happens. So let me drone transmitter. Okay, it appears to be plugged up. Now let me go in here, turn the goggles on, and I do see the display, and I'm going to go ahead and press the little record button. It's up here somewhere. There it is. See it recording. There it goes, it says recording. So now I'm going to take the goggles off, just set them down over here. Pardon the camera shake. Okay, so let's see what happens. Well, it's spinning. I'll be dead. Boy, look at that. Boy, that is pretty dominant. How you doing, Carol? I'm test flying this new drone here. The first flight on this thing. That's why it actually hovers pretty nicely. Hey, it worked. I'll be damned. Okay, so there it is. We built it, and I took some time yesterday and tidied everything up a little bit, and I'll be damned. Isn't that great? It actually flew, and I think it flew pretty damn good. So, next time we'll fly it with the goggles on, but I'm gonna have to take it somewhere where I have more room. Okay, so there we have it. The old guy's first adventure in the dark side. And I gotta tell you, I really think I'm going to enjoy this aspect of the hobby. I enjoy the building, and I want to thank anybody that stuck with us for the 4 hours of that marathon live stream. And I want to thank Mike, Philly Drone Life, for hanging in there with me and keeping the troops occupied while I went through some of the more boring parts of building this drone. And of course, this was my first build, and I learned quite a bit doing it myself. The thing flew tremendous. I was really surprised how stable and how easy to fly this thing's going to be, and I'm really looking forward to taking it out to a large field where I can put the goggles on and actually do my first FPV flight. So I think from here on out, what you're going to see from me is a mix of FPV stuff
and some of the, the Mavic pretty drone videos to pretty music. And I think I found myself a new hobby, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. So with that, thanks everybody for watching and following me through on this little adventure. And as always, I'm giving everybody the rest of the day off. Go out, play with your drones, and have a great day. Bye-bye.